So let's say you've identified the mentor, you've taken into account the established relationship that you already have with them, what you've observed of their interactions, whether you're looking for someone who's going to give you more honest feedback in your current role or someone who's more of an aspirational mentor. You've identified what you want and you've identified that person. So then how do you start that relationship? How do you reach out to the mentor? This will come down to the relationship that's already in place. Are they someone that you already have some interaction with? Or are they someone that you haven't really had any previous interactions with? If there's someone that you've already had some interactions with, start to test the waters with them without coming right out and taking it from an informal colleague relationship to a mentorship relationship. Instead, start to talk with them about your goals and ask for some initial advice or ask them some questions about the industry or about their own current role and see what kind of feedback they give. Is there the detail that you want there? Is there the responsiveness to your goals? Do they offer some advice when you talk about your goals? If there's those good signs there, then you can be a little bit more certain that you want them as a mentor. But be certain that you want them as a mentor before you bring it up to them, especially because there's already some established interaction there. And again, with the already established relationships, if they're a close friend, I don't recommend looking at them as a mentor. There are such a thing as near peer mentorships, but just because they're your near peer or someone who's only a couple years above or below you in the industry, they don't need to be your good friend. In fact, they probably shouldn't be. Because you already have this established relationship, make it very clear when you ask them to serve as a mentor that you want that and that you're able to articulate what you want from them. If you want advice for your current role, if you see their role as something aspirational that you want to move into, if you want help gaining skills to improve your chances of getting into a different field or into a different role within your current company, be clear not only that you want them to be a mentor, but what you are looking for in this relationship. What about starting with a new contact, someone that you've had very few prior interactions with? For these, you want to be very forthright from the start. You want to go in with the suggestion that they serve as a mentor to you. But in that initial outreach, be sure that you know why you admire them and why you see them as a good potential mentor and why you would find their input valuable. Again, is it because you find their role to be something that you're interested in? Or is it that they're very established in your field and you want advice on how to not necessarily move into their role, but how to excel in your role? Explain to them your goals, similar to an existing contact. Be able to explain what you want to get from the mentor-mentee relationship. And because they're a new contact and you don't have that already established relationship, they might not be as invested in the start as an already established relationship. So you're going to have to be very proactive in starting a mentorship relationship with an entirely new contact. You want to ask for feedback often, and if they're within the same company, you want to ask for potentially more responsibilities, managerial responsibilities, some cross-training, learning new skills. I talk a lot about being in the same company, but sometimes it's better if they're actually not directly involved in your organization, because then you can be a lot more free to talk about some of the less positive experiences you might be having. So a good place to meet a new contact mentor would be at events or conferences related to your industry. But also keep in mind with proprietary technology, if you're reaching out to someone at a company that uses very similar therapies, diagnostics, if their research is very similar to your company's, you might not be able to discuss the specifics of what you're working on because of NDAs. If having someone who you can look to for support in the day-to-day responsibilities of your role, they might not be the best